Good evening. My name is Reverend Nina Clark, and I'm the Associate Minister here at Unity in Lynnwood. Welcome to Interlude, our midweek service that we've designed so that you can take, along with us, a midweek breath and recenter in the truth of who you are. And this week, we continue the story of Holy Week, the journey from the old life into the new. You can trust us to stick with you through thick and thin to the bitter end. And you can trust us to keep any secret of yours closer than you keep it yourself. But you cannot trust us to let you face trouble alone and go off without a word. We are your friends, Frodo. Come on, Mr. Frodo, he cried. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you and it as well. So up you get. Come on, Mr. Frodo, dear. Sam will give you a ride. Just tell him where to go, and he'll go. In our archetypal Wednesday of the hero's story, after our hero has accepted his quest in search of new life, with an emphatic no to that which can be no more, after he has encountered and pressed through the resistance which arises when something new is in the process of being birthed, our hero is blessed with support. Every hero or heroine in the archetypal hero's journey finds support for his or her task. Harry had Dumbledore, Ron and Hermione. Frodo had Sam and Gandalf, Merry and Pippin. Luke Skywalker had Yoda, and Dorothy had the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion. And even in the subplots, Dumbledore, as a hero in his own right, had Snape. As I understand it, by Wednesday, Jesus had found his support team. On Wednesday, also known as Holy Wednesday, Spy Wednesday, or Good Wednesday, Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper. As he sat at the supper table with his disciples, an unnamed woman approached him with an alabaster jar of costly perfume oil called nard or spikenard, and she anointed his head. When his disciples protested this extravagance, the Gospel of Matthew reports that Jesus said, "Why do you trouble the woman? For she has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you, but you will not always have me. In pouring this ointment on my body, she has done it to prepare me for burial. Truly, I say to you, wherever this gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." This unnamed woman, in performing this act, was giving Jesus her support. She was letting him know that she believed him and believed in him. She was saying, I get it, and I'm here for you, and you got this. On this same Wednesday, Judas is said to have betrayed Jesus. On that same Wednesday, Judas went to the Sanhedrin and offered to deliver Jesus to them in exchange for money. Now, I recognize in many, if not most circles, Judas is depicted as the betrayer, so much so that his very name has come to be linked with the act of betrayal. And so you might wonder why I am mentioning Judas as I speak of Jesus' support team. You see, it is now being strongly considered in some scholarly circles that Judas betrayed Jesus at the request of Jesus. So it wasn't a betrayal at all. It could be said that without Judas, Jesus could not accomplish what he knew was his to do. Without Judas, there would have been no crucifixion. Without Judas, there would have been no resurrection. Without Judas, Jesus couldn't enter into that new life. Without Judas, the journey comes to a screeching halt. And Judas, loyal friend that he was, kept this secret, even knowing that others would come to revile him. This is the story told in the Gospel of Judas, thought to have been written in the 2nd century by Gnostic Christians. This gospel reveals Judas as Jesus' best friend, as part of his inner circle, literally as the only one who really got Jesus' message. It revealed Judas as a vital part of his support team. He's the good guy in this portrayal, writes New Testament scholar and author Bart Ehrman. He's the only apostle who understands Jesus. Herb Crosney, who co-wrote The Lost Gospel, says, Judas is a different kind of character. He's the person who was asked to make the ultimate sacrifice, and that sacrifice is to sacrifice the life of Jesus in order that Jesus may attain eternity and immortality. Joseph Campbell, master of the archetypal hero's tale, writes that support shows up as a benign, protecting power of destiny, and that a protective power is always ever present within or just behind the unfamiliar features of the world. And that ever-present power showed up for Jesus in the form of a woman who showed her faith in him by anointing him, and in the form of a beloved friend who believed in Jesus without any reservation, so much so that he agreed to identify him for the authorities, and in doing so, help him achieve his goal. And I think it worth noting that those on the outside looking in, those who didn't know that Jesus had conferred with Judas, those who didn't know that Dumbledore had conferred with Snape, couldn't see the truth of the support that was being given. But it was support nonetheless, and support that made the journey possible. Can you relate to having reached a point in your life where what has been can be no more? Me too. And when I take my deepest breath and I trace with my big toe that line in the sands of my consciousness saying, no more, no more. And I embrace that higher vision of new life, I find that I encounter resistance in every voice that would tell me I can't, and every voice that would tell me I'm not good enough. I encounter resistance in the breaking down of a car, to the loss of a job, to the loss of a relationship. And then a friend shows up, and when you share your vision, they say, how can I support you? Or as you struggle with some particular resistance, a book falls off a shelf, or a Sunday message seems written just for you, or some dear soul fixes your car. Whatever it is turns out to be just what we need, or just what we need to hear. It's that support that affirms we can do this, that bolsters our courage, that helps us to take that next step. And to my mind, what shows up on the outside is a manifestation of that true support that is always within us, that inner wisdom, that protective power that Joseph Campbell described as always and ever present within. What I mean is that I don't think it was any coincidence that Samwise Gamgee was just in the right spot to eavesdrop and thus be included in Frodo's mission. I don't think it any coincidence that the one car on the Hogwarts Express that had room for Harry Potter was the same one where his soon-to-be best friend Ron Weasley was sitting. And I don't think it was any coincidence that Dorothy's route through Oz took her past the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion. That power within that is always present, knows just what we need and takes an outer form, skirting our inner fears so that we can see it and hear it. Wednesday tells the story of those who support us. Wednesday tells the story of those who show up to reflect to us our inner strength of conviction. Wednesday tells the story of those who believe in us. Wednesday tells the story that we're not in this alone. Maya Angelou, in her poem Alone, tells us, alone, all alone, nobody, but nobody can make it out here alone. Please take a breath with me and allow that breath to settle you in this moment. Breathe and allow this breath to relax your body. Breathe and then mentally step back, and from the place of the observer, allow yourself to be aware of breathing and allow that to settle you into you as the I am. Will you go ahead and settle into your chair or recliner, floor or bed, sitting or lying down, and close your eyes. Take a breath in and scrunch the muscles of your face, and as you exhale, allow your facial muscles to relax and soften. And breathe in and raise your shoulders up towards your ears. And as you exhale, allow your shoulders to drop back down and to soften and relax. And then breathe into your chest. And as you exhale, allow your chest and ribs to relax and soften. Breathe into your abdomen. And as you exhale, allow your abdomen to relax and soften. Breathe in and tighten your legs. And as you exhale, allow your legs to gently relax and soften. Breathe in and scrunch your feet. And as you exhale, allow your feet to relax and soften. And then bring your attention back to your breath. And by doing so, allow yourself to come into this present moment. And so it is that in our willingness, if not our firm belief, that all great archetypal stories, that all transcendent wisdom tales have relevance to the lives we live today, I suggest that in pursuit of new life, there will come a point of support. Shall we explore in meditation the questions that Wednesday might include? What is standing for me as I step into this new life? Who is standing for me as I step into this new life? Who or what is it that sticks with you through thick and thin to the bitter end? Who or what can you trust to keep any secret of yours closer then you keep it yourself. Who or what will not let you face trouble alone? In all questions, let us hold this in our mind's awareness, allowing it simply to be. We need neither accept nor reject the scenario, for the scenario itself is impermanent, transitory. Let's hold it in our mind's awareness, knowing that it presents itself as the symbolic Wednesday in a hero's journey that promises to carry us into, through, and at long last, beyond even its transformations and elevations into new life. Let's hold it in our mind's awareness as we say to the very soul of us, welcome to Wednesday.